Hi, I am excited to talk to you today. Welcome to the Zion Messages. I think I should probably start saying that at the beginning so that you understand that's what I'm going for, is all these messages are about building Zion and hopefully we'll be brought into the millennium. I've had the clear impression from God that I'm not to be the world's YouTuber. I'm not. I don't really even want it. I don't desire it. At one point maybe I kind of did, but that these skills are to help prepare me for when I share during the millennium, and I'm keeping up my speech and sharing my heart, and it's a skill, it's a virtue of having bravery, and it's hard sometimes, and sometimes I've skipped weeks because I didn't feel like it, but that's why I keep doing this, and it does feel good after. So thanks for watching. I forgot to show you guys the mountain that I hiked that I told you I would show you last time. It's so bright. But here's that mountain. It's called Gunsight Peak. Here, I don't know if I can zoom in for you. I guess it doesn't do it for us here. But I hiked that with my brother and my son about almost 2 weeks ago. And there's a little bit of snow there, but for a long time there's been no snow. And it's been, I guess, all on the other side of the mountain, because when we hiked it, we had to do it from the other side. So I'm looking at it from the south, and it's all the snow's on the north side, and it took about 6 or 7 hours up there and back, and there was a lot of snow, and we had to scale up it at times when we just didn't know where we were going, and just completely just go up the mountain like this steep on parts. But I didn't feel scared because there weren't drop-offs, at least where we were scaling towards that last hour. We just couldn't find the trail, but we were in it like 1 or 2 feet of snow, and I wasn't scared, thinking if I did even just tumble a little bit, I'm just falling into powder. And so is my son, and so is my brother. But my brother is an expert hiker, and he has hiked the Pacific Crest Trail at 19 years old. So last year he hiked it, and that's from the bottom, almost Mexico, so at the very bottom of Arizona, hiking all along the west coast all the way up to almost Canada, and so at the very top of Washington. And he is just a rock star that he did that. And he kind of needed a way to, I don't know, find himself. And he's not a member of the church right now, or he's not active, but he kind of desired and thought, you know, missions are great for people, but I want to do something different, more for me, that I love and want to do. And he doesn't go to church anymore, so that was kind of his way to find God, find himself. And he does believe in God, and he's not quite sure if Christ is his savior, but we all do know that he is our savior. So it will come a time where I think he will believe. But in the meantime, it was really great to build that relationship with him and have him over for the whole week. And he even used his gift to help me know where to go for that mountain, and help my son, especially since my son has been really wanting to hike that ever since we moved here. He's been saying, "Mom, when are we gonna hike it? When are we gonna hike it?" And I knew we could have hiked it if I had my husband with us, but he was always busy and didn't find a time. And I thought, okay, well, my brother's coming. He knows how to hike really well. He's hiked 2,600 miles and he loves Uncle Dylan. Actually, I feel like Dylan is, he's my youngest brother, and then I have a sister right below him. And I adored Dylan growing up. Like I'm 13 years older than him. I kind of took care of him through my teenage years. And that's one reason why I wanted a boy first, because I love that little brother. Like, he was just so fun. He was so, he would just chatter, and he was so quirky and funny, and he just was everything I think would have been fun to have in a son. And he's a lot like my son Emmett, so it's been really fun. So next I wanted to talk about 2 things. I'm going to talk about in my new calling. I am now the word organist, and I'm telling you experience with that and how God really helped me. It was real scary, but I did it. And then lastly, the main title of this video is that no one's coming for you, and really understanding what that means. This sounds really harsh, but I'll tell you what it means, and maybe you've heard it before, but I'll start off with that probably. So my husband and I were talking about this concept And I've heard it before, but it's been a while. And I definitely heard it when I went through my crisis at one point or another, because the thought came to me at one point when I was going through some very dark depression and very hard times with accepting myself, hard times with my eating disorders, hard times with my husband and us almost separating, hard times with members of my family and my parents when they were separating, and there was so much hurt, and there was money problems, and there were all these things I had to deal with, and I was a full-on adult. I actually had 3 kids, and I was having this crisis. And part of my belief is I had just not grown up yet. Of course, I had 3 kids. I actually owned my own home. I'm married. I'm living life, and I'm of course a good person, but I just still had immature thoughts that I needed someone to come save me. Someone needed to come take care of the problems, and someone needed to do it for me, or that there was going to be some escape. I was going to figure out finances. I was going to, you know, nag my husband enough for us to get along. And that it was his turn to change, or I was going to be self-righteous and tell my family what I knew and I felt was best. But when it came down to it, I had to learn the very hard lesson that no one is coming for me, because I was also having very deep depression too through it all. And I had to take the time and seek that help and get medication and go to therapy. And also, no one's coming for me, that I need to change those behaviors and habits. And I need to find my own relationship with my Savior, because there is an asterisk to that statement. No one's coming for you except Christ. In this world, the world doesn't believe that. It thinks that you need to buddy up with a best friend and tell her everything, which is great to have friends, or you need to blame someone, or you need to put it into shopping, or you need to put it into a business. And it's just been so mind-blowing. The more and more I've seen with girls that have gone into business, that their marriages have ended, and it just blows my mind. I could have been on that path, but I gave it up. It's to who and to what do I want to give all my time? And it's to God. And so I knew I needed to give up that business, at least for the time, and probably for a while, because I'm just so much better off right now. But doesn't mean that it can't happen. But it just blows my mind how often I'm seeing that, and how it's sad that it rips apart families, that they may have worldly success, but there is not success within the home, and nothing can compensate for that. And this goes even for men. I just am saying it on the side of women that I see and I follow, and just over the years, people I used to look up to or even get advice from, that it just ends for their family. And I feel so sad that I just knew I had to work on me, and that no one was coming for me. So my husband and I were talking about that concept, and we talked about how that is the day you grow up. When you fully take on that responsibility and understand no one's coming for you. You are the one to work on you with Christ. He is the only one that's going to pull you out of that. So a part of that for me is going into this next topic, is the organ. So I'm now the word organist. I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but I am. And I'm excited. I have not had a music calling in a long time, so I'm excited. I have been a ward organist before, but it was maybe for half a year in one ward, and half a year in another ward. And I'm now finding there was a correlation with those 2 wards before that I had that calling, is because those 2 wards were small too. And then I went to some bigger wards, and there was definitely lots of help, especially in the heart of Utah, where there's a lot of people that have musical capabilities. But for me, I am now stretching and growing, and I had to play the organ. I found it 4 days before I needed to play for sacrament, and they called me to it. I knew about it before, but I wasn't sure that I was going to be playing it until 4 days before. So I I said yes, of course, and I knew God could help me, and I definitely did choose some easier hymns, or they did choose some, and it really helped me, and it worked out. And when I got there, there was actually, and I had a heads up that there was going to be a farewell, and it tripled our award. It was insane. And so, with me being new, I'm not familiar with the organ. I did have a key to go and practice the night before, but I was kind of scared. And I was just being called to sustain that day too. And but what was a miracle about it is that I did not feel scared. I did not feel like it was like there was pressure. I just felt love from people. I could just tell that people loved me and knew I was trying, and I am brand new to this, and I felt like I was just giving myself grace that I don't usually do, and that's from God. He helped me, and I can tell like this is all a part of Christ, the relationship I have with Christ, and what He has already felt with me. This is one of those small experiences that I was able to get through, even though I forgot to press the bass coupler button, and so it sounded really airy, and I was wondering why it wasn't sounding great, and I messed up a little bit, but I was able to play, and that's all I'm expected to do, just to give my talent and to help build Zion. So look for those little ways in your life right now, especially with Christmas, and also to take responsibility. Know that no one's coming for you, only Christ. Create that relationship with Him, make it a very deep and meaningful effort towards getting to know Him, especially for this Christmas season. It should be every day, but there's a special spirit right now with Christmas, and I hope you're having a good time with your family and enjoying it all. But I'll see if I can make it in and pop in next week. It's pretty busy right now, but I just wanted to share with you guys my testimony. I know that Christ is our Savior, and I know that He will come again, and that He loves you. He wants to have that relationship with you, and He wants to try to ease your suffering. It's already been paid for, so turn to Him. You don't have to go through this alone. And I hope you have a great week. Bye.